Hypertrophy. Hyperplasia refers to the process where cells in an organ or tissue increase in number. So it's like hiring a bigger pack of lumberjacks. Hypertrophy is when the cells in an organ or tissue increase in size. Like if the lumberjack gets really tough so that she can cut down twice as many trees. So hyperplasia, bigger pack, and hypertrophy, tough lumberjack. So a tissue or organ might get stressed by physiological processes or from disease processes. An example of physiologic hypertrophy is lifting a 10-pound sack of potatoes, which puts a bigger functional demand on your skeletal muscles. In response, the muscle cells produce more proteins, or myofilaments, and get larger in size, allowing the biceps as a whole to generate more force. As a result, your muscles also become bigger and tougher. An example of pathologic hypertrophy is when the heart undergoes hypertrophy to deal with high blood pressures or hypertension. In hypertension, the heart has to pump blood against a high resistance, and cardiac myocytes once again adapt by increasing the synthesis of myofilaments and cause individual cells to get bigger. In both cases, there's hypertrophy, but the triggers are quite different. Now, in hyperplasia, there's an increase in the number of cells, a larger pack. And that can only happen in organs with stem cells that can undergo cellular differentiation to become a mature cell in that organ, like cells in the intestines, for example. So hyperplasia does not happen in relatively permanent tissues without stem cells, like cardiac, nerve, and adult skeletal muscle tissue. And that's why those tissues typically only undergo hypertrophy when they face increased stress. Now, there's compensatory hyperplasia and hormonal hyperplasia. Compensatory hyperplasia happens in organs that regenerate, like the skin, the lining of the intestines, the liver, and bone marrow. Hormonal hyperplasia happens in organs that are regulated by hormones, like organs in the endocrine and reproductive system. Like hypertrophy, hyperplasia can also be physiological or